Hello, Tamara Green here for A Course in Miracles, lesson number 96. All right, ready to give some love to your knees? Okay, let's start by warming up our hands because we're going to use this heat we create to warm up our knees before we start to open those joints, those knee joints. Okay, if you have very painful knees, please skip this. I don't want you doing anything that overstrains your joints. Okay, nice and warm. All right, I'm going to lower the camera so you can see what I'm doing. Here we go. So take that heat from your hands and rub the front part of your knees, the outside of your knees, the inside of your knees, and the back part of your knees. Okay, good. So from here, it's as if you're sitting down in a chair or getting ready to. So we kind of sit and then straighten our knees, and so they feel a little bit of a stretch in the back. Sit down on your knees and straighten. And sit down. And now from this place, staying in that kind of bent seated position, we're going to twirl around each direction 5 times. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now the Charleston. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then rub your knees all the way around. Very good. Very good. Your knees stay nice and limber when you do that day after day. It's a little bit of a workout. I'm out of breath. That's good though. Good for your knees. All right, lesson number 96. Salvation comes from my one self. Although you are one self, you experience yourself as two, as both good and evil, loving and hating, mind and body. This sense of being split into opposites induces feelings of acute and constant conflict and leads to frantic attempts to reconcile the contradictory aspects of this self-perception. You have sought many such solutions and none of them have worked. The opposites you see in you will never be compatible, but one exists. The fact that truth and illusion cannot be reconciled, no matter how you try, what means you use and where you see the problem must be accepted if you would be saved. Until you have accepted this, you will attempt an endless list of goals you cannot reach, a senseless series of expenditures of time and effort, hopelessness and doubt, each one as futile as the one before, and failing as the next one surely will. Problems that have no meaning cannot be resolved within the framework they are set. Two selves in conflict could not be resolved, and good and evil have no meeting place. The self you made can never be yourself, nor can yourself be split in two, and still be what it is, and must forever be. A mind and body cannot both exist. Make no attempt to reconcile the two, for one denies the other can be real. If you are physical, your mind is gone from your self-concept, for it has no place in which it could be really part of you. If you are spirit, then your body must be meaningless to your reality. Spirit makes use of mind as means to find its self-expression. And the mind which serves the Spirit is at peace and filled with joy. Its power comes from Spirit, and it is fulfilling happily its function here. Yet mind can also see itself divorced from Spirit and perceive itself within a body it confuses with itself. Without its function, then, it has no peace, and happiness is alien to its thoughts. Yet mind apart from Spirit cannot think. It has denied its source of strength and sees itself as helpless, limited, and weak. Disassociated from the function now, it thinks it is alone and separate, attacked by armies, massed against itself, and hiding in the body's frail support. Now must it reconcile unlike with that, for this is what it thinks that it is for. Waste no more time on this. Who can resolve the senseless conflicts which a dream presents? What could the resolution mean in truth? What purpose could it serve? What is it for? Salvation cannot make illusions real nor solve a problem that does not exist. Perhaps you hope it can. Yet would you have God's plan for the release of his dear son bring pain to him and fail to set him free? Your self retains its thoughts, and they remain within your mind and in the mind of God. The Holy Spirit holds salvation in your mind and offers it the way to peace. Salvation is a thought you share with God because his voice accepted it for you and answered in your name that it was done. Thus is salvation kept among the thoughts your self holds dear and cherishes for you. We will attempt today to find this thought whose presence in your mind is guaranteed by him who speaks to you from your one self. Our hourly 5-minute practicing will be a search for him within your mind. Salvation comes from this one self through him who is the bridge between your mind and it. Wait patiently and let him speak to you about yourself and what your mind can do, restored to it and free to serve its will. Begin by saying this: salvation comes from my one self. Its thoughts are mine to use. Then seek its thoughts and claim them as your own. These are your own real thoughts you have denied, and let your mind go wandering in a world of dreams to find illusions in their place. Here are your thoughts, the only ones you have. Salvation is among them. Find it there. If you succeed, the thoughts that come to you will tell you you are saved and that your mind has found the function that it sought to lose. Restored in strength, it will again flow out from Spirit to the Spirit in all things created by the Spirit as itself. Your mind will bless all things. Confusion done, you are restored and you have found yourself. Yourself knows that you cannot fail today. Perhaps your mind remains uncertain yet a little while. Be not dismayed by this. The joy yourself experiences, it will save for you, and it will yet be yours in full awareness. Every time you spend 5 minutes of the hour seeking him who joins your mind and self, you offer him another treasure to be kept for you. Each time today you tell your frantic mind salvation comes from your one self, you lay another treasure in your growing store. And all of it is given everyone who asks for it and will accept the gift. Think then how much is given unto you to give this day that it be given you. So, 96, salvation comes from my one self. All right, so I'm going to give you an example of how I was guided to tell you what I'm going to be telling you now. So, all right. This is an AI image that my wonderful brother, whom I love so much, created for me as a representation to myself with a capital S. All right? This is, when I look at this, I see this is who I really am. This is the bridge between my mind and God. Okay? So, this is the truth, my diamond light self that knows that what my ego perceives is an illusion, and knows that all there really is love. And every action of love, like forgiveness, compassion, interest, curiosity, patience, gratitude, right? Okay. And then we have the ego. And this is the representation of our ego. This, kind of dark thing with tentacles, right? And it loves to cover over, or try to cover over, not let us, connect with our higher self. It just gets really loud and active and everything, so that you pay attention to this instead of this, right? So the ego, its focus tends to be very fear-based. How everything is wrong, kind of a victim consciousness, how things are not going the way it wants. It wants you to focus on the things that bring yet more fear and more problems and more upset. All right, kind of like a rabbit hole down, a dark hole. All right, so now back to what I originally said about how could I figure out what to say for this lesson, this beautiful lesson. Because as I was reading the lesson before, I always read the lesson all the way through before I come on camera, and I was just sitting there, small self with a small s, I don't know what to say. But then I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just ask for guidance. I took a few deep breaths, quieted my ego mind, and I said, just show me. Show me my beautiful guidance realm, God, whoever, universe. I'm listening. I'm calm. I put my ego in the back seat instead of the driver's seat, and I'm listening. And then what did I get? Was this little hit. Oh, I think I'm supposed to open the book. And that is the Seven Sacred Flames book that I referred to many times. And it's always in the description. The title and how to find this book is always in every single description. And I decided, instead of opening the book, I decided to just write down a very important sentence that I got. It just jumped right at me. So you could see, you quiet the ego mind, and then you begin to connect with your own inner wisdom, the wisdom of love and God. And there it is. Just crack open the book, and there it is. There's the message. So it's on page 186 and 187 of the Seven Sacred Flames book. And here's the line the sentence that just jumped right out. And I knew right away, okay, that's the message for today. Even in the most difficult situations in our life, if you're grieving the loss of a loved one, or your house just burned down in a fire, or you just learned that you were diagnosed with a very severe illness, or what have you, whatever that upset is, right? What is it? This is the message that comes, the loving message that comes from our wise one. This is what we are to ask. What is it that I can learn and maybe unlearn and heal from this experience? What is it that I can learn or unlearn and heal from this experience? You know, the truth is, if there's a problem, there you are. So guess what? We don't realize we create, even on a mass consciousness, we create what we are experiencing based on, am I plugged into fear-based ego, you know, and all those scary, scary, scary things, the kind of, this is the victim consciousness, or believing in lack, believing that, you know, we are weak and not strong and not good enough and the rest, or love. Is it coming from love? Lack or love? Those two can never connect, because those are the you know, one believes separate and the other believes we are all one, right? So one self. If we more and more connect, quiet that fear-based egoic mind so that we can connect with our beautiful one self, the light, the spirit of who we really are, we are connected directly to the guidance of pure love and God and universe. Okay. May you be well. May you feel safe. And may you be at peace. I'll see you tomorrow.